Okay, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be going over the easiest diets to implement in your life. Okay, everyone and anyone on earth can do this, unless, of course, you know, they're in a war-torn third world country. I didn't think this video was going to take a turn like that. But anyways, there's no excuses in this day and age with this information so readily available on YouTube for free. All this info, there's no excuse not to be in shape. Now, I understand that it is everyone's different. Some people may find it harder to get shredded, to gain muscle. I understand that. But regardless, it is at most plausible and at least possible. Okay? And in today's video, I'm going to go over an easy diet for people who just want to lose fat, gain muscle. Don't worry about counting calories or macros, or don't worry. Okay, I'm going to simplify how to get into shape in the easiest way possible with these simple handful of foods that next time when you go out to the supermarket, go ahead and buy these foods and just eat these foods. Okay, just eat these foods no matter how much quantity. Don't worry about quantity, because at the end of the day, these are satiating, high protein foods, of course. So you can't overeat these kind of foods. So eat as much as you want from these foods, but don't venture outside these foods, okay? It may be simple, but if you include KFC and ice cream, then it gets complicated, right? So you don't have to worry about, you've never in your life had to worry about calories or macros or any of the what you may perceive as complex stuff, right? I don't think it's complex. I think it's pretty easy to count your calories, count your macros, but a lot of people seem to struggle with the digitization of getting in shape. So I want to make it simple for you guys, and I hope this video helps. So let me get into it. So this is the criteria before I get into the exact foods and explain why they're good to eat if you are looking to get shredded this summer. And that is, first and foremost, high protein. If they aren't high protein, doesn't matter realistically how many calories you eat or what your macros are. If it isn't high protein, then protein synthesis is not going to take place as frequently during the day. Therefore, you aren't going to gain or build or repair damaged muscles that you have worked so hard to build in the gym. So that's first and foremost, high protein. And a lot of you guys know, of course, what those kind of foods are. But not all high protein foods are simultaneously infused with a decent amount of fats. And fats are important because chances are with a diet, fat loss diets, okay, you are going to be on the lower calorie side of things because you are optimizing for fat loss. Now, here is the dissonance in that word, fat loss, or those words, fat loss. This doesn't mean you decrease your fats. It's actually the opposite. You maintain your fats, okay? I'm pretty sure this myth has been debunked, but it used to be pushed by the food industrial complex that sugar wasn't bad. It was fats that are bad. So I'm pretty sure that myth has been debunked, but just in case there's a few of you who still believe in that bullshit, fats, healthy fats, of course, healthy fats, not saturated fats, healthy fats are vital to good sleep, good hormonal health, feeling good, and they play an especially important role in getting shredded and losing fat. Because if you go low calorie and low fat, you're going to suffer, you're going to hate your life, you won't care that you're losing fat or you're losing weight because you'll just be dying on the inside, and that's likely going to result in you falling off your diet, going back to your old ways. So it's important to eat foods which have a decent amount of healthy fats in them. And that leads me on to my next point, nutrient dense. A lot of bodybuilders, a lot of guys I see when they are cutting, will hate it, right? Cutting should not be hard, right? I've cut a few times in my life, and every time it hasn't been hard because it's not meant to be hard. It's meant to be actually easy. You're meant to feel good. You're meant to actually, weirdly enough, feel better when you lose fat. Um, Especially for those of you who are gaining who have excess fat on their frame, right? But the main mistake I see people make is they'll just eat chicken and rice and broccoli, and they'll sort of put aside uh, nutrients as a footnote, as like I'll take a multivitamin or I'll take a fish oil, and hopefully that helps. No, you have to be eating nutrient dense foods. Okay, there are superior sources. There are superior foods in that sense. Okay, for example, beef is overall superior to chicken. Why? Both are high protein. Both have comparable fats, although beef has more fat. But in particular, beef is so much more nutrient dense than chicken and rice that people who eat beef in their cut and the chicken in their cut, even if they're on the same amount of calories, one will hate their life and one will actually enjoy their life. Okay. Now, fourth, obviously low calorie. If you're not in a calorie deficit, you won't lose weight. And given that you're eating high protein, if you're eating high protein and you're in you're in a calorie deficit, you'll hold on to your muscle, and that weight which you've lost will be fat predominantly. Given that you're training obviously very hard still in the gym, keeping it in the low rep range, 2 sets to failure, 5 to 8 reps. You know what I mean? And lastly, convenient. No one wants a hassle. No one wants complexity when it's already complex enough, right? For people who are getting into fitness, trying to understand how these things work, how to cook your meal, how to, optimize for how to lower your calories, all this stuff, right? So you want it to be convenient. You don't want it to be hard to adhere to. And that's also factored into this diet, okay? So let me carry on. And this diet is called the bot diet, okay? Because for bots who just want to keep it simple, just get in shape as easy and as quick as possible, okay? This is for you. Now, it's not detailed, it's not exact calories, how to calculate given your body weight and height. No, it's just, I'm going to give you simple thing to adhere to. This is going to work regardless, though. That's why the bot diet is actually the superior diet, because it's simple. It's not overcomplicated like everyone wants to overcomplicate things on their videos. No, simple. No bread. Don't go buy bread. Don't go buy tortillas, cheese, rice. You may see people cutting that way, but they're tracking their calories meticulously and their macros. But you don't want to do that, do you? You want to just open the fridge, open the cupboard, eat the food, not have to worry, okay, and still see results. I understand. But that means you can't eat bread, you can't eat tortillas or rice or cheese. You can't eat, carbs, essentially, right? That's my main point. If you want to keep it as simple as possible, speaking from experience and working with people, you can just cut out carbs. Okay, that's the simple answer, right? But it's not that simple, because then the foods you fill that void with, now that you've retracted your calories from carbs that you normally eat, is important. So that's half the equation. No BS carbs, okay? If you are trying to lose fat, that's the simple 50% of the equation. Okay, I hope that's clear. Now let me move on to the foods that you should eat. Introducing the bot diet for you bots. Okay, so first things first, tuna in water. So if you go to the supermarket, you'll notice that there's sardines in those cans, there's tuna cans, there's salmon cans. Those are all amazing. Now I've chosen tuna. Sardines are also good. Salmon is also good. But the reason I've chosen tuna is it's very high protein, very low calorie, very good amount of nutrient density. But what's important is you don't get the one that's infused in shitty soybean oil or those, toxic, poisonous oils that are everywhere and in everything. No, if you are gonna opt in for the tuna, get it in water, lowers the calories, and doesn't put that poison in your body, right? Next, 96 for beef, meaning 96% lean beef. Much more nutrient dense than chicken, for example, as I said, much more nutrient dense than turkey. So it's going to make you feel better whilst also getting you the same results, right? So that obviously places it above chicken. Nutrient dense, high protein, decent amount of fats. I would probably eat, you see what those containers, one of those a day on my cut. Just because so low calorie, so high protein, I don't even have to worry about how many calories is in one packet. So that's lean beef. Next is egg whites, but I've also put in brackets eggs, because egg whites are, although they may be very high protein, very low calorie, and are going to get you shredded whilst keeping your muscle, they aren't that nutrient dense, and they don't have, if any, fats. So it's important that you throw one or two maybe hard-boiled eggs in there. Maybe you have time to scramble some eggs or do a fried egg, but you should eat egg yolk as well for the nutrients. Again, nutrients is an overlooked thing when people try to cut and lose fat, and as a result, they may lose the weight, but then they'll put the weight back on because of how much they suffered and how much they hated that process. But for example, when I cut and I eat these foods, I sleep well. My workouts, I have high energy despite eating, very low carbs. Although, as I said, I don't really although I eat these foods, I also throw in carbs because I know how to cut with using carbs, because, I'll track, etc., etc. But I know, again, for those of you who aren't trying to do that shit, who just want to keep it simple, eggs and egg whites are, again, very good. Maybe two egg whites, okay, and 2 eggs, for example. That could be like a meal. And then chicken, although I said that beef is superior, bison would be another example of a superior, elk. But obviously, again, convenience. You guys we're brokies. We don't have access to that kind of, luxurious, bougie kind of protein, right? So chicken, obviously, is amazing source of protein, low calorie. It's just that you should have a mixture of protein sources, in this case salmon, beef, and chicken, because chicken alone is not nutrient dense enough. You're not going to feel as energetic, or if you're just eating chicken. I've just found that you're going to feel overall better if you prioritize eating beef and then obviously throw in chicken when it's convenient, because chicken is convenient, right? Just season it, cook it, boom. Next, sugar-free barbecue sauce. You can find these anywhere. The brand doesn't matter. This just helps with taste. And no, the studies on aspartame and all those bullshit, myths about, Coke Zero and Diet Coke is actually carcinogenic and is going to kill you. So is these artificial. That's all BS. Those studies were literally taken in rats, and they gave the rats essentially 1000x. So it's like they gave the rats 1000x the amount of the artificial sweeteners in one dose, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, that's carcinogenic." So unless you're drinking 1000 Cokes a day or glugging 1000 bottles of sugar-free barbecue sauce a day, it's completely fine, and it's going to help you enjoy your diet more, and by extension, effectively lose fat. So don't buy into that myth. I hope I've debunked that one as well. Next is beef liver. I know, tastes like shit, but probably one of, if not the most healthy, nutrient dense, high protein foods there is. So if you can stomach that, highly recommend. You'll feel great if you eat beef liver. It's just a fact. Like, it's just pure, nutrient, filled with nutrients, high protein, just a very healthy food, to put it simply. And then there's those convenient salmon packets, like these tuna ones. You can find them in the store, salmon packets. They're just like dry salmon. which are, again, very low calorie, good amounts of fat, and very high protein. And lastly, diet soda. Again, nothing wrong with sugar-free soda, diet soda, zero-calorie soda. No, it's not going to give you cancer. No, it's not unhealthy. It's in fact healthy, because on the whole, it's probably more healthy than it is unhealthy, given that how much it has helped obese people lose weight, because they have that sweet, they can, their sweet craving is taken care of with like Diet Cokes, Coke Zeros. And yeah, could not recommend them more. So that is the bot diet, okay? Obviously, like, Frankie, where are the vegetables? Where are the fruit? Listen, the amount of nutrients you get in these foods isn't really going to make a difference if you don't eat an apple. Again, cutting is temporary, right? This diet is going to be temporary. If it was up to me and you want to keep it simple, just eat these foods: multivitamin, fish oil, creatine. Your nutrient demands are going to be met. You won't Not eating an apple or not having, asparagus is not going to do anything to your health. Okay. In fact, there's a lot of literature which show that, the carnivore diet, right? That only protein diet, has its own benefits that, adding in vegetables or sugar, fructose, and fruit might complicate. So just stick to this, okay? Maybe fine, eat an apple a day, right? Eat an apple a day. But I'm trying to get you guys just to follow a simple enough diet so that you can just go out and buy these foods and cook them and eat them. Okay. Obviously, buy seasonings, buy a bit of olive oil to cook with, buy, or maybe like 0-calorie cooking oil spray. But, at the end of the day, it is this simple, right? And this diet is going to allow you to have good sleep because your nutrient demands are taken care of, and you're eating a good amount of fat. Feel good, which is probably the most important. Get shredded, which is what you're trying to do. Cheap and easy, although with this hyperinflationary economy that is absolutely ridiculous, and we should all start revolting and start a revolution tomorrow on the streets. Although that is the case, it still is relatively cheap and easy, and it's simple. So thank you for watching. This video is way too long. I don't know. I should have just spoken faster. But I hope this has been informative and helpful. Just follow this diet for 10 weeks this summer. And literally, it's not even funny, right? You are going to transform your body. Do you not understand that? If you just eat those foods. Doesn't matter how much you eat of them, because at the end of the day, you can't overeat high protein, high fat foods. So yeah. Or don't believe me, don't believe me. But either way, hope you enjoyed. Hope you found this helpful. Make sure to check out Club Aesthetic, which is our, community where you have access to 30 plus training programs, 300 plus meal plans, mindset courses, testosterone courses, bunch of stuff for free. So go check that out. Link in the description. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.